I like the partnership that Burnham Brown and ACC San Francisco Bay Area have together.
People have just been coming up to me and just saying that they've really been inspired. So thank you. It's been an incredible experience.
This was just thrilling. I love meeting everybody. Just standing in line, I've met people who were just delightful.
I think the panels are very well put together. They have key speakers from a lot of very high-profile companies.
The route to success is not always a straight line.
We're all on the same team.
Whatever happens, happens for a purpose.
Figure out what you're really, really good at and play to your strengths.
Do you feel that you've had any barriers to advancement in your career based on your gender, and how did you overcome it?
I think we have to be supportive of each other, because I think sometimes the barrier is us.
What I've noticed is men have a lot of available time in the evenings and at other times in the day, or they get in the morning. Take advantage of your lunch hours and your time during the day.
If you have made a so-called blunder, it probably really isn't a blunder. It's part of yourself wants to be coming out. There's a new part of yourself that's emerging. When you have the wrong motivations for something, it's not going to work.
I've realized that my emotion and passion is actually one of the best things that I bring to my job. Emotional and passionate doesn't mean breaking down in tears in a meeting or yelling or throwing things, but it does mean caring and getting into something on the emotional level.
Several years ago, I had a woman named Mary. She was extremely, unhappy with where she was in her job. She finally came in one day and she said, Carol, I just decided to turn towards my job.
What is the biggest career challenge / issue that you faced, and what did you learn from it?
I would stop being a good girl.
Oh, do explain.
Oh, no, not what you're thinking. A good girl is someone who works hard, is accommodating at all times, doesn't demand a promotion, doesn't ask for a raise, and waits and waits and waits to be rewarded. Just know what you want and ask for it. And so I'm seeking really visible assignments, and I'm building my professional network, which isn't really hard when you work at LinkedIn. That a lot of times when we're navigating our way through success, which I love that word navigate here, because we do want to kind of go in the flow. We don't want to struggle. When we're struggling, we're going upstream. We're not in where we need to be. I really advise writing down what you need to know. Just put it out there on paper and let the universe answer it. So think to yourself, you're in the right place at the right time. The idea of the upstream thought and the downstream thought. And everything you want is in the downstream area. Because upstream is where you were, where you've been, what you've been working on. Downstream is where you're going, and it's going to be going with the flow.
What are the 2 or 3 most important things to remember when I feel like I'm not being where I want to be?
1, join LinkedIn. And create your professional identity. And really
stop at banana and buy a new suit.
Oh, yes. Start to network professionally. And one way that you can do that is by joining a LinkedIn group called Connect Professional Women's Network, powered by Citi. Thank you, Citibank. The second takeaway is you make your own happiness. Give thanks for what you have, and then take stock of who you are, your skills, your strengths, your passions, and your values, and think about what it is that would make you happy, and then ask for it.
I have been in the place where I've thought, I'm not really where I want to be, and I did work with a coach. First thing the coach did is said, get out your phone and call 5 people you know and ask them about yourself. And it was really amazing, because when you're kind of down, you're not really having maybe the best faith in yourself. To hear what value you bring is really, really helpful. The conversation earlier about being a good girl. Well, good girls can sit there and, try to perfect all of their opportunity areas for years and never get anywhere because they're trying to be more and more perfect, but we're probably all really good at 2 or 3 things. And turning into your job is such an awesome phrase, because the minute you turn in, you start being the cause in your own being, and you do create your own happiness.
I own it, you own it, which is everyone said today. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're in a place you don't want to be, there's really only one person who can get you out of that place. I think it's really important to stop and ask yourself, where do you want to be and why do you want to be there? Because I think sometimes people get caught up in where I thought I should be. He was the one who said to me, just take a deep breath. Like, what's the hurry? Why are you in such a rush? What's the difference between, so it's sort of, on some In some ways, it's the flip side of your, don't be afraid to take the job because you're not 100% sure. I think we all need to do more of that. But I also don't think you have to always be going at 150 miles an hour. I think there's times in your life when it's okay to just take a moment and take stock. And I think you'll make better decisions when you kind of come back online.
Find out what makes you present in a room. In a corporate environment, it's really easy to tune out or start having judgmental thoughts flowing through your head. You're in a board meeting and you're thinking, oh my gosh, if they don't stop talking, I'm just going to chop my right foot off. But find that right thing that is going to bring you back in the room and be present and be contributing, because there is energy going on in that room. It may not be your preferred mode of energy.
Also, the idea of keeping your mind in a positive place. In the cellular world, intention is action. Isn't that amazing? Intention is action, because your cells are the intelligence of the environment informs your cells, and they take action. You're always plugged in, and the way to plug in is keep your thoughts and your talent, your attitude wherever you are, in this kind of downstream way.
Really, you are in control of your own happiness, and once you realize that, when you're stuck in a little bit of a dead end, you've confronted that you're there. Figure out what you really want and find out how to do it. Start asking questions and explore, and make sure that every day you create a positive experience for yourself. And it's okay to do that for yourself. You don't have to do it for your family or your colleagues or your company. You actually can do it for yourself, and even if it's only 5 minutes.
Figure out what it is that you want and ask for it. And for all you good girls out there, stop being a good girl and be a great woman who knows what she's worth.
And I totally encourage anyone that's in-house counsel to come to our events, especially this women's event.